Hey, sometimes you get in this place in your life where you have some friends over and it's a pretty fun time, but there's something missing. And you need a spark, but not a spark that's hot. You need something that's just ice cold to really get it going. And that thing is going to be a sculpture from Ice Designs Houston. If you're looking for that, Super Bowl party to just be lit, but so lit that it's frozen, just call Ice Designs Houston. Mention DadPod. They'll give you 10% off your order. You know, sometimes you might have missed the Super Bowl. You forgot about it. You didn't get that ice design ordered. But it's okay because, right after the Super Bowl, I think, or maybe it's before, I don't know. But you got Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you got 2 days to get it together.
So even if you miss the Super Bowl, you got Valentine's Day, and, it might not be a party, but there's going to be a party if you get an ice design from Ice Designs Houston. Go ahead, hit up our friend Josh, mention DadPod, 10% off. See ya.
That's how you do an ad. I love it. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's that good right there.
Oh, yeah, that bass. All right. DadPod.
Oh, yeah.
We up in it.
DadPod. So, I think when we've tried to figure out what we're going to do for DadPod, or what this podcast was going to be, we didn't expect to have, like, 2 back-to-back guests to start the show, right? Like, I never expected Josh to come, and then a couple of friends, like watching it, and then Matt wanted to get on. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I think it'll just be us, right?
Yeah, we'll probably have a guest, like, regularly, but not, like, as often as it'll be us. Yeah. Yeah, so last week, if you stayed with us the whole episode, I mean, just thanks for that, because we weren't trying to make it 2 hours, but that's what happened. So this week we're gonna try to cut it a little bit shorter than that.
Yeah, I if you watch the whole thing, which I don't think anybody did, except like a couple of people, like my wife,
Yeah.
I'm very awkward in it, trying to end it, and then you come out with this toenail story. I just couldn't stop laughing, man. It's so funny. But,
Yeah.
I mean, most podcasts I listen to, they go on, like Rogan goes on for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
The quick ones, I'm like, my commute's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with the other 4 minutes? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I kind of like a long podcast.
Yeah, I think
depending on what you're doing.
I think about an hour is like a good sweet spot most of the time. But.
And then we start running out of I don't know what to talk about. For a couple of people, I was like, hey, because I was watching myself on the YouTube, and your boys put on a little weight,
Yeah, the holiday season.
Yeah, and it's more like last 5 years have been rough.
Yeah,
just a gradual opposite of a fall. Yeah, I was feeling down on myself, like, oh man, I got a suck in my gut, but I'm totally not right now, But
it's all good.
What? It's been a real good motivator to try to lose some weight. Like I've lost 4 pounds since episode 1. Probably can't tell.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the early stages of just like a miraculous weight loss.
That's like so. I haven't really done like diets that much.
I hate you.
And
I hate it when people say I don't really do anything. I just lost because in the.
Well, I don't try to follow a diet. I think what happens with me is like we'll just get in the habit of not eating out as much and like cooking at home more.
Yeah.
And honestly, that helps me out a lot. I think I saw like I don't get on the scale that much, and I started getting on it recently. And the last time I'd been on it was like June. And I had lost I think 35 pounds since June.
You look great, man. You look good.
So
what are you at now?
219.
219? Man.
I fluctuate between like 218 and 221 is what I've been doing lately.
I was 219 in like 2018. 2016. I think I first started dating Becca my wife.
Yeah.
Like 2016, and I was like I want to say 215.
Mm.
And then it just went, phew, just that, you know,
Yeah.
falling in love weight. And then I was like 250 when I got married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at 260 something right now. It's rough. It's hard to get, I don't know. It's easy to lose it. Because, like, you know, maybe two months ago, I was like 250 again, 249, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. I was like, ah. And then, like, a weekend of barbecue, you know, and I'm back up like 10 pounds.
Yeah.
It's rough.
You know, the weird
I'm
thing for
so
me,
old.
I
Yeah.
think part of it too for me right now, like I'm staying home with the kids, you know,
Yeah.
during the day. And so sometimes I don't really get to sit down and eat lunch. Like, because some days I'll get to, because like Chandler will go down for a nap and I'll be able to leave him down and I'll eat lunch like while Cohen's eating lunch. But some days, like, I got to just like grab a couple crackers and some cheese and like eat it real quick, but it's not like a full meal.
Dude, yeah. No.
And so I think that's kind of been like not intentional that I'm like trying to like watch what I eat, but I'm just like, well, I got to get like a little bit of something in. And if I were
Yeah.
actually to sit down and eat, I'd probably eat a little bit more than I do when I'm
Yeah.
just like grazing like that. But yeah, so I don't know if that's part of it, but it might have something to do with it. So,
Yeah.
but I think it started way before that. It's also just like we used to eat out like a lot more, and we've been trying to like maybe once or twice a week now, and then cook at home most of the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like, even though it's a lot more work to do that, and then you got to think about like meal planning and all that kind of thing, and like grocery shopping, which
Now-
that kind of sucks. But
Now I don't mind grocery shopping.
Yeah.
That's great. But like when I'm grocery shopping, I'm usually craving something. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'm building the meal as I shop, and I'm excited
yeah,
to cook
see, that's
it.
like we've started
I
going
do
with
that.
we started going with the like the curbside pickup.
That's good.
Which I think helps us with that, because like when I'm in the grocery store, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh dang, that looks good. I'm gonna grab
Yeah,
some of
like
that.
I'm imagining the meal. I'm like, oh, we could do
But-
salmon and bacon wrapped salmon,
Yeah.
or some bacon wrapped shrimp. Oh, we gotta get shrimp. Oh, we gotta go.
But then
this.
you see something and you get ideas. When
Yeah.
you're at home, you don't do that. You just have to think of stuff, and then you just make it on the little app thing, and you go pick it up, what you're gonna get, and then you can't like window shop. Because I do the same thing. If I show up, I'm gonna be buying like something rogue that I never was gonna make.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, oh sweet, they have bacon wrapped pork loin. I'm getting that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna think of that like if I'm just.
But if you get
doing a
bacon
mobile
wrapped
order.
pork loin, how much do you buy? You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I save like 18 cents if I get 7 pounds of it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So you like, oh crap. What do you do with the rest?
Yeah.
You gotta meal prep that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, oh man, it's so
Anyway,
complicated.
so yeah, it gets pretty crazy. But like like this past weekend, it was Chelsea's birthday, and I mean, we went out with her family on Friday, but then on Saturday we went to a movie, which we hadn't done that like a long time.
Yeah.
And her sister kept the boys. We were like trying to make it a date, so we went to Star Cinema Grill, like one of those
Yeah.
food places
Oh yeah.
that has movies too, and we saw Avatar. So I know Renee's been wanting to talk about
I've been wanting to
Avatar,
talk about Avatar,
but I hadn't seen it. So now I've finally seen it. So today
now I can
we're gonna
we can spoil a little bit.
yeah.
Spoiler
So
warning.
spoiler alert: if you
Yeah.
haven't seen Avatar, go ahead and fast forward. I'm not sure to what time, but maybe we'll put it in the show notes or something.
No, we won't.
Or you can just kind of like skip ahead.
We could
Until-
do it. We
yeah.
could do it. We're actually this is our first episode. We're doing 3 cameras.
Yeah. So
We're experimenting with stuff. We got, and then you probably already know by now. We got an angle on me, angle on Aaron, and then like the wide.
yeah, with both of us. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Avatar: The Way of Water. Before we get into like the movie of it, like one thing that's pretty amazing, I have this pulled up. The top 6 movies of all time.
Top 6.
It just moved up to number 5.
Get out of here. Is that
Which
like
is-
an IMDb?
No, this is on boxofficemojo.com.
Oh, okay.
Top lifetime grossing films of all time. Number 1 is Avatar. Right?
Oh,
the very first
grossing
Avatar.
films.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wait,
that-
I thought Endgame beat it.
No. Endgame is number 2. The reason why Avatar, I think, beat it is because... So James Cameron keeps doing this stuff, and I'm sure that Avengers Endgame will probably do this eventually because it's such a big movie. But James Cameron always does like these re-releases, and I think they re-released Avatar like this summer in the movies. Where you can go watch it again.
Kind of like to drum up interest again.
Yeah, and so when you do that, that money counts toward its gross too. So I think that's probably what bumped it above Avengers Endgame.
So it like adds to the already.
Yeah, so that one, the original Avatar, it's 2.9 billion. 2.9 billion.
2.9 billion.
I think, is that right? Yeah, 2.9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Endgame is 2.7, almost 2.8. It's 2.799. Then number 3 is Titanic, which that is nuts because Titanic is from 1997, and it's number 3.
And it's money, not tickets sold.
Yeah, this is money.
Can you imagine like a $3 ticket in '97?
I know.
How many people must have watched? Oh my gosh!
But they've re-released that one at least once too. I don't
know
how many times. Yeah.
Oh man.
For like the anniversary or something. That made 2.1.
Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched a re-release?
Nah.
What?
Well, I mean, I guess so. There was one that I think I went to, and this is funny because I wasn't that big of a Harry Potter fan.
Okay.
But I think whenever they had Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, I watched the first one.
I think whenever the second one came out, I went to one where they showed the first one right before the second one, so it's like a double feature. So it's kind of like a re-release.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts or not toward like I don't know how that works.
Okay.
But anyway, so that was 2.2 for Titanic, basically 2.2, 2.19 is what it is. Then Star Wars: The Force Awakens is number 4, which that made about 2.1, not quite, but close. And then number 5 now, Avatar: The Way of Water. It just surpassed Avengers: Infinity War.
Wait, what's number 6?
It's only beaten it by $2 million.
Infinity War's number 6?
Yeah, Infinity War's number 6, but Way of Water is only $2 million ahead of Infinity War. So they're very close.
Infinity War needs to do a re-release.
Yeah.
But catch up.
That is crazy though, right? Like, James. So 2 things on this list: James Cameron
3 times
in the top 5.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's wild too is the main actress
Zoe. She's in like 4 of those.
Saldana. Yeah, she's in 4 of the top 6.
That's right. Yeah.
So James Cameron's got 3 of the top 5. She's in 4 of the top 6. So that's pretty wild. Like that. Both of those people,
Wait, she wasn't in Titanic. Which other one wasn't she in?
She wasn't in Titanic or Star Wars.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So she was in both Avatars, both Avengers. So, anyways, so I thought we'd talk about that before we got to.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Okay, so first time I watched it, I fell asleep for the first hour. It's pretty boring. To me, it was pretty boring. I watched it again. I watched it with Becca. Mm-hmm. Was awake the whole time, engaged the whole. I don't know why, but I guess I was tired or whatever, and I fall asleep in movies all the time.
Did you just watch it regular? You guys went like IMAX? What'd you do?
No, we watched it regular.
Yeah,
there's no need for in my opinion.
I know a lot of people with this are like, you got to see it in IMAX 3D or whatever.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy in IMAX. I would have enjoyed it just as much.
I think, what was the one
I saw?
The one that I did see in IMAX that was pretty cool was, what's it called? Civil War?
You watched Civil War IMAX?
Yeah, because that one scene that was like at the airport, that was really cool in IMAX because it was so big. But anyways.
Dude, I love Civil War because that was my first date with my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she totals her car and she calls me and she's like, hey, I can't make it for our date. And I was like, oh, are you sure I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, she's making up a lie to get out of the date, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, well, I hope you're okay. I think later on she calls me and she's like, hey, did you still want to grab dinner with my sister and my friend? And I was like, yeah, sure. They go to try to eat sushi, and I end up joining them for sushi, and then she basically ditches her friend and her sister to go on a date with me. And we go watch Civil War. It was right there off Greenway, Wesleyan.
Oh yeah.
The Marquee, no, not the Marquee, the Edwards Cinema right there on Wesleyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, it was cool.
Mm.
But so IMAX though, I think I saw Passion of the Christ in IMAX.
See, there's some movies that I've heard are filmed like with all IMAX cameras.
It would have been cool to watch like Dark Knight.
Yeah, those like the Nolan movies.
The Christopher Nolan. I should have seen Inception in IMAX. That would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of moving your neck.
Yeah,
for me.
And you got to have the right seat, I think.
Yeah,
but
like,
and to me, it's like one of those things where it's so much more money. Like if it was the same cost, I might do it. But like I'm not paying $19 to go see a movie.
Have you really ever been into like 3D?
Not really. To me, here's my thing with 3D. And this might be too much to ask, but once you can do it with no glasses, I'm cool with that. But if I got to wear glasses, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not into that.
Wait, how could they do 3D with no glasses?
Well, like, I know there actually is one. Remember the Nintendo 3DS?
No.
That mug was 3D with no glasses. It was.
It's just gonna look weird. It's gonna look weird. It's gonna look like, is it the yeah? I don't know. 3D glasses. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I don't like 3D. You gotta get the glasses. Yeah.
And it's so much more expensive. I'm like,
dude, we got like 4K now. We got all the definitions.
Yeah, and I don't really care. Like,
who cares?
To me, I care more about like the audio quality. Which anytime you go to a movie, the audio is going to be great. So like, you don't pay a different amount.
Yeah.
Depending on the audio. So I'm cool with just going regular, and that's what we went to too.
Okay. So the boring parts of Avatar, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're kind of filling. It's like they're filling you in on what happened, and I totally forgot what happened. I don't remember if Sigourney Weaver died or not. Did she die in the other one?
Yeah, she did. The cool thing is we watched the one before it, like maybe a week before we went to go see the movie.
So I knew the bad guy died. Yeah. Right? Because what's her name?
Oh,
Zoe.
Yeah.
Zoe, like hits him with an arrow, right?
Yeah.
Like in the chest.
A few arrows, I think.
When he's in the little transformer thing.
Yeah, I always called him Toy Soldier because he looked kind of like that guy from Toy Soldiers. He does look
like little Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. And he dies, but then in the new one, they're like resurrecting him in Avatar form.
Yeah.
With his DNA and his memories. I don't know if I like that.
Well, I mean,
they cloned him, right?
At the beginning of the movie, I thought it was dumb that they did that. To be honest, like while I'm watching it, I'm like, this is so dumb. Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
But then, as the movie went on, and I'm not sure why, but it kind of like made more sense. I guess part of it is, and we already said spoiler alert, but like the fact that his son was in it too.
In real life?
No, his son, like that character's
son.
son.
Spider.
Yeah, Spider.
Yeah, Spider, but like he was his real son.
Yeah, I thought that like kind of redeemed the fact that it wasn't just. I thought they were just bringing him back because they're like, well, who are we gonna make the villain? We'll just use the old guy. Like I felt like it was kind of. It seemed kind of like. I don't know, lazy, I guess.
Yeah.
At the beginning, but then when they revealed like that Spider was his son, it kind of made it like a little bit more depth to the idea, so it redeemed it a little bit.
But it wasn't like his real son. I did like that interaction. Like, you're not my real dad. He's like, well, I'm not, but I got his memories and.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought it kind of. To begin with, when they revealed that he was still alive, I was like, but then when they kind of redeemed it with that extra sort of development between him and his son, at least the son of his memories.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah.
You know what else I thought was weird? The unobtainium from the first one, right?
What?
That was the main reason why they were all there mining this unobtainium.
Oh yeah.
This mineral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the new one, they're like, oh, this whale blubber. It's got this. It's way better than unobtainium. This whale blubber's
Yeah, but the weird thing is, it wasn't so just dumb. Whale blubber,
and it was out of nowhere, dude. I mean, we got this whole movie, and then at the end, like, oh, this is the real reason why we're here. We get to get this whale blubber.
To be honest, though, I felt like the whale blubber in this was kind of like It was out of left field, but to me the unobtainium made no sense. Like they didn't
It did
explain.
make it didn't make sense, and then the
They
other
didn't
thing didn't
explain
make
like
sense.
why they got it or anything. But
Yeah.
then when they said what the whale blubber did, they said it like reversed aging and stuff or slowed aging in humans.
It has to.
At least they explained that, and I felt like it was also like, not that it wasn't inhumane what they were doing before, but the way they like caught those whales and stuff, and then
That's how you whale.
and then they just left the whales out to die. I don't know.
That was the most realistic part of the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
How they killed them whales.
Yeah, but it was like, and especially because you had like characters developing these relationships with the whales, and like you saw how intelligent the whales were and stuff, and then you see they just like drill their brain and leave them there dead. Is like, dang, what the heck? Yeah. So
okay, the best part of the movie, and it's not, as a dad, of course, it's heartbreaking, right? Mm-hmm. I'll just get right into it. At the very end, the older son dies, right? And it breaks your heart, dude.
Oh yeah.
It's the only thing that kind of ruined it for me was Zoe Saldana screaming the way she was. Like, she didn't have to do all that. I didn't care for the weird cry screaming, but who knows? I mean, if I'm that sad, I'll probably cry, scream.
And you know, they're Na'vi, so they're like a little bit more like...
She's crying in her native Na'vi language. And you know what's interesting is in the first Avatar, in like the first 5 minutes, he's always talking about how his brother was like the smart one, the good one, the one with 2 legs, the one with
and his brother died,
his brother
right?
dies. So it's almost like the second brother is similar to the dad, Jake Sully.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the perfect brother dies and he has to fill in his shoes and he's not good enough, right? And he's got to fill, you know what I mean? Like it parallels, they parallel each other, father and son. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, and I thought it was one of my favorite things is how like both Jake and whatever Zoe Saldana's characters. I'm bad at character names.
We just call her Gamora.
Yeah, Gamora. Yeah, Jake Sully and whatever her name is.
Yeah.
They at the end of the movie, like they're the parents, and they're kind of like in a spot where they don't know what to do.
They're like almost like military parents, right?
Yeah, but they don't know. They're like at their wits' end, and they're about to die, is what it feels like. You know, they don't know what they're gonna do, and then both their kids come and kind of like save the day.
Yeah,
and
because their kids adapted to a new way of life that they had a hard time letting go of, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of our kids now with like new things, like new ideas,
well, and
new
it's also like
technologies.
it shows you like kind of. I mean, I know that they were still like fairly not young parents, but they're not like elderly.
Right. They're like us.
Yeah, and so like, it's cool to see kind of like that. They've spent all this time raising them, and then it's almost like the fulfillment of that, like knowing that their kids are going to be all right. You know, they've been worried about their kids every time their kids are alone. They're worried. They have that calm system where like they're like, oh, we're in this spot you told us not to go in, and then it's their own kids that end up saving them from a tough spot when they've been trying to go save their kids the whole time.
That's true. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and then like when Chelsea was like crying when the son died.
Oh, it was rough.
And then the part that got me is whenever he plugs into that tree at the end and he goes like and has that vision of his son. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he says like his son asked him like, "Dad, are you sad?" And he's like, "No, dude, I'm happy," or something like that. And that's what got me, man. That was honestly, I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah, I liked it better than the first one. The first one was it's too Ferngully-ish. Like, he likes the girl.
The first one was, here's the thing, and I think we talked about this maybe with Josh. I don't remember.
Okay.
But the thing about the first one is it was so groundbreaking from like all the tech and stuff that they used, and like they hadn't done that kind of motion capture before. A lot of CG was like just crazy how realistic it looked and stuff. But that's kind of what made it so popular. It wasn't really about the story. True. Because the story wasn't like trash, but it was kind of too similar to other stuff that had already been done.
Yeah.
In this one, the story was a lot more original, I felt like.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an awesome story, but it was a little bit more original than the first story.
Dude, the action was awesome.
And the visuals and the action, like they stepped up. If you thought the first one had really cool like visuals and stuff, which it had some cool stuff, but to me, going back and watching the first one, the Na'vi still look like legit in the first one,
They're
but
a lot skinnier in my opinion.
A lot of the other creatures though, like look kind of like they haven't aged that well in the first one. In the new one, the creatures look legit. Like all of them look super, like realistic and whatnot. Yeah. Like the scenery in both look awesome. Like it's no big deal. But some of the creatures in the first one, it's a little like it's not as nice as you remember it looking. I didn't think so.
What I like the themes of it though. Like the themes are a little deeper. Like the theme of like shame and like being outcast. Like the little brother feels that way. The whale, right? The whale feels that way. Mm-hmm. The spider kid wants so badly to belong, and he sort of does, but he's he's a descendant of the bad guy, and so like the mom doesn't really like him or trust him, right? Yeah. And just the themes of like you're inherently bad and you're judged for what mistakes you made. And then, you know, the kid overwhelmed with guilt when his brother died. Because his brother died because of him, basically, right? Yeah. Then goes and saves the dad. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of redemption in there. Especially, like, with the whale. The whale saves the kid twice and becomes friends with the kid. And I don't know, man. It's so, like, can the bad guy be redeemed?
Yeah, because
I think so.
They didn't kill the bad guy, so you know he's for sure coming back.
I think the arc is going to be the bad guy is redeemed at the end through his son. Yeah. Right? Because the son is the one who saved him.
Yeah, which that was kind of a cool little thing that they did.
People didn't like that. Like, everybody I watched it with, like, oh, the stupid son. What do you have to say? I'm like, I don't know. Because he's not evil. He didn't want him to
And that puts more depth to that character because, like, you saw the whole movie, or I felt like the whole movie, he's kind of torn between, like, man, these guys are doing the wrong thing, but this is my dad. Like,
exactly. You love the person who's wrong. Yeah. And what do you do when that happens? You save them.
Yeah, so many good themes. Avatar.
Okay, so Avatar. There's another movie I want to talk about, but let's look at this Oscar list. Right, it came out a while ago, right?
Yeah, I think Tuesday was it or Monday, one of those.
So, since when do they have like? They have a lot. What is it, like 10 Best Pictures?
Yeah, so now I don't know when they expanded it, but they did expand the Best Picture nominations.
But that's the only category they expanded. Everything else is still only 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Best Pictures. Let's look at them.
I almost feel like they just expanded it because people were mad that like blockbusters weren't in there, so they're like, we'll just expand it and include them, but they'll never win. That's how it feels, right?
Yeah. Okay. So there's like 5 movies on here I've never even heard of.
Yeah. There's some.
The Fablemans. I heard it's like a Steven Spielberg movie based on his family or something.
And I watched the trailer and it does look pretty dope. Like it looks pretty cool, I think. It's got some good actors in it. I need to watch it. It's got tons of nominations.
What's Tar?
Tar? I have no
idea. Triangle of Sadness, never heard of it.
Also has a lot of nominations.
Women Talking. I don't know what that is. I'm sure it's good. It's Frances McDormand. Okay, she's great.
She did a couple of big like winners a few years ago, right?
She's the one like almost every year. She did the one Nomadland.
Oh yeah,
the homeless people one. Yeah. I didn't see it. I heard it was good. Yeah. But what was it? The 3 Billboards movie that was cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's of course done Fargo. I mean, a bunch of great movies. One of my favorite roles she's done is Burn After Reading. Have you seen Burn After Reading?
I don't think so.
It's so good. It's a Coen brother movie and it's a comedy and she's great in it.
I need to watch it. I love the Coen brothers.
Yeah. I watched The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, you've seen it?
It's insanely good.
I watched the trailer and it looked really cool because I'm like, if it's getting all these nominations and it looks like the premise is pretty much like this guy's best friend just decides he don't want to be friends with them anymore, and that's
literally it.
And they made that a Best
a
Picture nomination.
compelling movie.
These two guys, they're best friends. One of them decides he don't want to be friends anymore.
You don't see them be best friends. That's the cool thing. You just, you know that, oh, this guy really likes that guy. He goes to his house to try to get him to come to the pub, right?
Yeah.
To get a pint or whatever. And then that's what they do. They hang out and they do stuff together. And the one guy's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be your friend anymore. That's, what are they, Scottish?
But they both got
they're
nominated.
not Scottish, they're Irish.
And they both got nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor. So it must be pretty good.
Dude, Colin Farrell, dude.
Dude, he had a good year. He crushed it this year.
He's so good.
Because he got nominated for that.
He's still good.
And a lot of people could argue that he should have been nominated as Best Supporting Actor because his Penguin thing.
Penguin was great.
Yeah, he was awesome in that.
He was a better. Yeah, no, I still think Paul Dano was a better, really good villain.
Oh yeah, but Paul Dano would have been like lead actor, maybe, right?
No, supporting.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
yeah,
anyways,
because Heath Ledger won supporting.
Yeah, but Paul Dano is also in, I think, the
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, he's in Swiss Army Man. Who one of the movies on here is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Same directors in that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Only good, and you know what? It came right when Multiverse of Madness came out.
Yeah, and everybody says it's a better multiverse.
It's a better multiverse movie. I don't want to believe it because you know how much I love multiverse.
Yeah,
but no, it sounds good.
But anyways, Paul Dano. That's his name, right? He was also in Fabelmans, I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
I saw him in the
He
trailer.
plays the dad, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
So let's see what we've talked about. That Avatar: Way of Water nominated.
Hold on. The Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay.
I want to talk about it. Can I spoil it?
I haven't seen it yet.
God, Aaron, you're killing me, dude.
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll watch it this week, and we'll talk about it next week.
Okay. Because you know what I related to it? That's like if one day, like I call you and you're like, I don't want to do the podcast anymore. I'm like, but we always do the podcast. You're like, I don't want to do the podcast. And our wives are like,
Renee, I don't want to do the podcast anymore. I'm done with the podcast forever.
Our wives are like, just get over it, yeah? Just get over it. And there's, okay, I'll spoil a tiny bit just because it's so funny. His sister asked him, why don't you want to be his friend anymore, eh? And he's like, because he's dull. He's boring.
The funny thing is, it sounds like a freaking like SNL skit or something, and they made it into a whole movie.
It's so funny, man. It's so funny. God, it's a great movie. It's a comedy that's serious. Oh, there's some really good sweet parts in it. Oh, you gotta watch it.
Okay, so we said Fabelmans. We talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
We talked about Banshees of Inisherin. Is that how you say it? Inisherin?
Inisherin. I don't know. Inisherin.
Avatar.
It's a made up
Way
name.
of Water. It got nominated.
Yeah.
We talked about that. All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm not.
It's a remake of the obvious classic, I guess. I'm not really familiar with it or whatever.
Me neither.
Now, wait, hold on. Let's talk about actors. I don't even know.
We haven't gotten through the list yet.
For the Best Picture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Also, Top Gun Maverick was nominated.
Maverick.
But I feel like Top Gun Maverick and Avatar are the throw-ins that they're like, oh, these were blockbusters. They're not going to win, but we'll throw them in there.
I was telling you also the Batman got nominated for like makeup and hair. That's it.
That's crazy.
I love the Batman.
We did say Triangle Sadness. Well, I think that's all of them. So, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
The Best Picture. So, actors.
What's your favorite category in the Oscars? Which one like matters to you?
I mean, I always feel like, to me, it's Best Picture.
Really? I always like Best Director.
But I think that not every year.
Yeah.
But most years, most of the Best Pictures are good. Like, most of them are good movies.
I remember when Crash won Best Picture.
The other thing...
That wasn't a good one.
I didn't know about this.
Shakespeare in Love won Best Picture. That was terrible.
Oh, really?
It beat Saving Private Ryan for Best Picture.
That is nuts. Because Saving Private Ryan is like a classic.
It was like the 98 or 99 Oscars. It was terrible. I don't know. Best
But
Picture is
the other thing I've heard is so like for all these categories, apparently the way that they vote is like there's all these people in the Academy or whatever. But so like for Best
it's all
Actor,
political, of course.
but
Yeah.
like for Best Actor, for instance, it's only people. There's people who only vote for that category,
Interesting.
and then there's people who only vote for like cinematography, and then because they're only allowed to vote for that because that's what they have expertise in or whatever. But then on Best Picture, they take everybody, and everyone votes for Best Picture. So Best Picture is like overall movie, I guess,
Yeah.
and then the other things are kind of like. But to
Mm,
me,
yeah.
Best Director is almost like the same as Best Picture because they're telling all those people what to do.
It's not. It's not. I'll tell you why. Because Best Director, there has often been a Best Director that didn't win Best Picture. It was like Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Well, it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There was like in I want to say 2006, Crash won Best Picture and
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese won Best Director. Made no
Wasn't
sense.
there like a lot of other good movies that year too?
Oh six?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to remember what other movies came out that year, but I think I remember people being surprised by Crash because there was like a couple other, one or two other ones
well,
that
it
were
was
like,
like the anti-racism movie that was very nuanced. So you don't know, like like everybody is off prejudice in the movie, but there's shades of good in each person. So it was
oh here,
weird.
you can go back on this website I'm on. What year did you say it was?
Yeah,
2006.
yeah, 2006 Oscar winners.
All right.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Brokeback Mountain.
Oh yeah, that was that.
Oh, Good
Walk
Night
the
and Good Luck
Line was
came
that
out in
year.
that one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good year.
Oh,
Um,
Ang Lee won Brokeback Mountain. That's what it was. Ang Lee won Best Director. And then, let's see. Yeah, Best Picture. Best
Best
Picture was Crash.
yeah.
Yeah. So, it's whatever.
But didn't what I heard a lot of people say Good Night. I haven't watched Good Night and Good Luck, but I've heard that it's or a lot of people back then were saying it should have won.
It was great. I really respect Clooney as a director. He's done like a few good movies. Most of them are period pieces. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll do Good Night and Good Luck. He did Leatherheads, which is like a comedy
Oh
with
yeah,
John
I remember that
Krasinski.
one. Uh huh.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind with Sam Rockwell.
Mm.
Awesome movie about what's his name? Barris, the guy who created the Gong Show and the dating show and all that, and he has it's like a weird memoir of like him in the CIA killing people.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really crazy. And then Drew Barrymore's in it. She's good in it. It's a good movie.
Mm.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I want to say it was Clooney's first movie that he directed. Then he did another one with the Tender Bar. Have you seen that one? It's on Prime, Amazon
No, I
Prime,
haven't seen it.
with Ben Affleck and the kid that played the Ready Player One kid,
Oh yeah.
Ty Sheridan. It's a good movie. It's a little coming of age movie
Mm-hmm.
about a writer. Another Clooney movie that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
He does these weird low key movies, but some of them get really highly acclaimed. But I think Confessions of a Dangerous Mind put Rockwell on the map.
Mm.
Like he's so good. He can carry a movie, and he's great. And he's an Oscar winner too.
Oh yeah. So like last year, I think the best picture was Coda, right? Is that what won it?
No idea.
Yeah, Coda. Did you watch Coda?
What is that?
You've never watched. You gotta watch Coda.
Are you playing a prank on me, dude?
No, I'm not.
It sounds made up.
It's actually an Apple TV movie,
Okay.
which is crazy.
That's why I haven't seen it.
That's what won the best picture, but it's about this girl whose whole family is deaf,
Okay.
and she is not deaf, and she's really into music, and they think it's dumb that she's into music because they're deaf, so they don't really listen to music.
But she's deaf?
Yeah, she's not deaf. The rest of her family
no,
is.
of course she's into music.
But she wants to go study music in college. And it's like her, kind of that whole family dynamic, like her family not understanding why she's even doing this, thinking it's dumb. They're all like fishers. Like they live it's somewhere in the Northeast, so they go like off sea fishing.
They're fishers.
Like as a
fishermen.
yeah, as a job. Like her dad and her brothers are fishermen, and she's like the one who can hear, and they have to have somebody who can hear on the boat every day.
Oh, they need her. That's why.
Yeah, in order, because if the Coast Guard comes and they don't have a hearer on the boat, then they'll like give them a ticket. But anyways, it's really good. You should go watch it.
I feel like there's ways around
especially if you like need a good cry, because the end, man. Whew,
does the older brother die?
Her dad in the movie won Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Director, Best Supporting Actor. Dude, Coda, that was good. But last year, I'm just looking back, and I probably need to rewatch, or not rewatch, but actually watch some of these, because I think I just watched that one, and that's it. Oh, I watched Don't Look Up and West Side Story, I think.
Don't Look Up is funny, dude.
Yeah.
It's great. It's really good. And I want to see Jonah Hill's new movie.
And you know that the Oscars are going to be super like boring this year, because last year is when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah. And that
was last year at the Oscars?
Yeah, because Will Smith won Best Actor.
Has it been a year already?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like that just happened? Wait, so Coda won that year?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't, I guess it was Coda.
Well, here's the list last year. Coda, Belfast, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune. I did watch Dune. Dune was cool.
It was okay. It was slow.
Yeah.
It was definitely like the first half of something cool.
King Richard, which I didn't watch that, but that's what Will Smith won Best Actor for. Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I heard that was good.
Nightmare Alley. The
Power
of the Dog. I watched The Power of the Dog.
Was
that
that
cool.
Guillermo? Nightmare Alley?
Yeah, it was.
I want to see that.
Did you watch The Power of the Dog?
I didn't watch any of the...
The Power of the Dog is pretty cool. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think it's a Netflix original. It has...
Yeah, these past 2 years, I've literally gone to the movies like maybe 3 times.
I didn't go to the movies to watch that. I watched it on Netflix. So I think it was a Netflix original.
It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah. And then West Side Story to round them out. But yeah. Who was in Power of the Dog?
Wasn't it?
There was a good actor in that, but
wasn't it Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Cumberbatch?
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I think he was in a Twitter war or something with Sam Elliott talking about it wasn't a real cowboy movie. I don't know. Whatever, dude.
It was a cool movie though.
Seems cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so who you picking this year? Do you even know?
I mean, Best Picture.
Well, we already talked about Best Picture. Maybe we should talk about the actors a little bit.
Okay.
Actors and actresses. And then wrap it up.
Yeah.
So
leading role.
Yep.
Colin Farrell, dude. I heard Brendan Fraser was good.
Because okay. Everybody else ain't looking.
Yeah. So nominees, actors in a leading role: Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, Bill Nighy for Living.
I heard people say that
it might be Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser was awesome, but the movie wasn't that good. That's what I heard.
It's like every Aronofsky movie, dude. It's like okay.
Yeah.
But good performances, in my opinion.
It's almost like he needs to hire a supporting director that just makes the movie better, and then he can just make the actors good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Colin Farrell for sure. Austin Butler is Elvis.
He was a cool Elvis, but I couldn't even make it through the first 30 minutes of that movie because
it was
just weird.
It's no Walk the Line.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
It's not even Ray, and Ray was awesome.
Supporting role. Okay, Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees. Brian Tyree Henry, love that dude. I didn't even know he was in this movie called Causeway. Don't know what that is.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
You know who Brian Tyree Henry is, right? He plays Paperboy in Atlanta with Donald Glover.
Yeah.
He was recently in the movie with Brad Pitt, Bullet Train. Awesome.
I need to watch that. Lemon. It's on Netflix, right?
I think so. Yeah. Great film. I really liked him as played a bad guy in Widows.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. He's awesome. Judd Hirsch, The Fabelmans. Interesting.
I need to watch The Fabelmans because I've heard it's good.
Is Judd Hirsch the dad from Independence Day?
I don't remember.
I think he is Jeff Goldblum's dad. That's him.
Oh, okay.
Barry Keoghan, The Banshees. Dude, we got all these Banshee dudes.
Man, they're
And
just...
then everything everywhere all at once.
Dude, yeah, that I need to watch that movie because all I've heard is good things about
Yeah,
it.
we gotta watch it. Okay.
Okay, then actresses who we got
We
leading
got
role.
Kate Blanchett for Tar.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, now I remember what that is. She's like a professor or something, I think.
Okay.
I've heard that it's great,
Okay.
but it like came out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting it.
Ana de Armas for Blonde.
Oh yeah, that's that like Netflix
The
Marilyn
Marilyn
Monroe
Monroe movie.
biopic. I'm not really that interested. But...
Andrea Riseborough to Leslie. You know what she should have won? She should have won it for Knives Out. She's brilliant in Knives Out, dude.
Oh, which? Oh yeah,
Ana de
yeah.
Armas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She is so good in that movie. She killed the well. She was involved or what, but you root for her in the movie. Like you actually root for her.
Yeah.
Oh, but and she carried the film. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they had like some sort of protagonist that we
cheered for
in the sequel.
Yeah, Onion. What is it called? Glass Onion.
I guess the sister, but in the movie, it was just the storytelling was so kind of weird. It's kind of weird. You couldn't really get behind her.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what they're gonna do with the next one.
You knew like she was just like a secret person, but you didn't really get to like know her till the middle of the movie. Whereas in Knives Out, you knew from the jump Ana de Armas was like really cool character, and this movie was about her. And that's similar to have you ever seen Sicario?
Oh yeah, we watched it together, dude. You remember that?
We watched the second one, right?
No, the first one.
We watched the first one?
At Studio Movie Grill, right?
We did. Okay, yeah. Sicario. I love Sicario because you're following Emily Blunt's character, but in the sequel, it's like, oh, this guy from these couple people from the first one are in it again, but you're not following anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was kind of missing in Glass Onion. I like Glass Onion, but anyways.
So I don't even know who Andrea Riseborough is, but
yeah,
I guess
to
she's
Leslie.
good.
Michelle Williams, has she won something?
I don't know, but I feel like she gets nominated.
She gets
almost
nominated
every year.
She's great. I mean, that's Heath Ledger's girl. What, they were dating at the time when he died.
I think maybe. Yeah.
I don't know if they're married. I know they have a kid together, right?
I think maybe. I can't remember. She was in The Greatest Showman.
Was she? I don't know.
Yeah, she was Hugh Jackman's wife in that movie.
Supporting role: Angela Bassett.
Michelle Yeoh, you forgot her.
Oh, Michelle Yeoh.
Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
Main character in that.
Okay, who's winning that one? I say.
I've heard a lot of people say Kate Blanchett.
She
really
should
awesome.
win. She's won before, right? I want to say she won for The Aviator. She had to have won. I think she won for The Aviator. I could be wrong.
She gets nominated a lot too.
Yeah,
she's in a lot of good movies.
She's good. Let's see here.
Supporting actress.
Angela Bassett deserves it. We don't even need to watch the rest. Wakanda Forever. Oh my god, so good. Hong Chow, The Whale, Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin. I think she plays the sister. She's pretty good, but she's no Angela Bassett. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I didn't even know she was in that movie.
Me neither, but
Stephanie, I want to say Sue, Everything Everywhere. So like, Everything Everywhere and Banshees. Banshees has like 5 people.
Yeah, to me, if you get here's my theory. If you have that many actors in your movie, you must be a really good director.
I agree.
So you ought to be like pretty high up there on the list for
like Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine like all these actors that all these actors that work with you get nominated for Oscars? I want to work with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That happens with like Scorsese and them.
So this is the Dad Pod, so we can go ahead and talk about animated feature film too.
Okay.
Since we're dads and we like the animated films.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a low year though for the animated films.
We got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. What are they doing? The Sea Beast and Turning Red. Turning Red's got to win.
Yeah, it's got to. I don't even know what Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is. It sounds cool though. I'd watch it.
I watch it.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is on Netflix, and I've heard it's pretty cool, but it looks a little like weird.
Yeah.
But it is Guillermo del Toro though, so he's weird.
Can we talk about the directing and then probably end this?
We'll do that.
Okay. Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonagh. Have you ever seen In Bruges?
I don't think so.
It's another Colin Farrell what's his name? Gleason, Brendan Gleason movie.
Oh yeah.
With I think Ralph Fiennes is in it. He plays the bad guy, but there are these hitmen who are in Bruges, which is like I think a town in Belgium. I want to say something like that, somewhere in Europe, and it's great. It's like a little hitman action comedy. It's real deep.
Oh yeah.
A bit sad. It's good. It's good. Anyways, that guy's good. Everything Everywhere All at Once. These two dudes. Who do they do? What other movie did they make?
They made
Swiss Army
Man. And
yes.
also, their first thing they directed was the music video for "Turn Down for What," which is like kind of a crazy music video. Have you ever seen it? Swiss Army Man.
I remember Turn Down for What.
Is unlike any movie you'll ever see.
The premises of these movies, man.
And if you
that's what we want.
If you want to watch it, like just get ready, like
yeah.
Don't stay up too late because you will laugh yourself like into a stupor. Just because here's the premise for
Swiss Army Man. Yeah.
This guy's
tell me.
This guy is dead, right?
Who's the dead guy?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay, so Harry Potter's dead, and then you
got Paul Dano is like stranded on an island, and he sees this like dead body wash in, but then all of a sudden like the dead body like starts farting. I know this sounds crazy, and it starts like puttering along the water, and Paul Dano is like about to, like he's at his wit's end. He's about to like kill himself because he doesn't know what to do stranded on this island.
Yeah.
And then he sees his body like puttering. Anyways, this body ends up being like a Swiss Army Man because he rides the farts back to land. So he rides on the back of.
Wait, I thought he was already on land.
Well, back to the non-island because he's stranded on an island. So he rides him across the ocean back to like the mainland.
Across the whole ocean.
Well, wherever they are, it doesn't really explain where they are, but he rides on the back of Daniel Radcliffe like a jet ski with farts.
Oh,
just it's super ridiculous, and the concept sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. But there's like a lot of really good depth and like things that you wouldn't think. It like tricks you, you know. It's like one of the movies that's silly, but then all of a sudden you're like, wow, So yeah, go watch it. I'm not sure what's it on. It used to be on Netflix at one point. It's probably on something.
Okay.
But yeah, those dudes are nuts, and that movie like makes you think, man, Daniel Radcliffe. He plays a dead dude, and it's like one of the best performances, man. It's so funny. You gotta watch it. Have you seen it?
No, I gotta see it now.
Yeah, it's great. I watched it one time. I don't know if any of these guys are listening, but you remember. Seth and Justin. We watched that together, and I don't know if anybody knows Seth Miller, but when he gets to laughing real hard, he has this like croak thing, and it's great.
Okay.
Anyways, go watch Swiss Army Man. I need to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, I guess, too. But
yeah.
I think it's a little more serious than that movie, even though that movie kind of, yeah.
Sure.
It's cool.
All right, man. Well, this has been DadPod.